Should I name this the time that I jumped off the porch, or I did the dash and I left? Like, this is gonna be the story on how my spirit was urging me to leave and why I decided to leave my hometown. So let me just take it back. I don't know if I was having a spiritual awakening or if I was going through a spiritual psychosis. I don't even know how to say it. I think it was a spiritual awakening because I know what I was talking about and I know how I was feeling. I knew in my head, like, the hometown that I was raised in, the city that I was raised in, I knew it wasn't for me. I just feel it in my spirit, and I know that I'm 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10 feeling this way, but I really felt that way. And I really used to tell my mama and my grandma and the rest of my family, I used to tell all them, baby, when I get grown, I'm going to California. And you know, here go my mama. She gonna be back. Yeah, we did have stuff going on at home and we used to argue all the time, but that's really how I felt. Like, I felt like I didn't belong in the city that I was in, and that's why nothing really worked out for me. Like, even in school, like, I had friends, but anybody could see clear as day that them was not my real friends, even my mom. And let me tell you a story. So in school, I don't know who I wanted to be, what I wanted to be, but all I know is one day my mama told me to get a piece of paper. Okay, write down on the paper all your friends, because she was really just trying to tell me, baby, them not your real friends. And I'm telling her, like, mama, these is my friends. Like, how you gonna tell me? So she's like, all right, write your friends on the paper. So I get out my piece of paper proud, and I get the writing. I'm like, so-and-so, 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 so-and-so. And when I got done, it took me 3 minutes to write all my friends on that paper. And I took the paper and I walked in there and I gave it right to her and I said, look, these are my friends. And she just busted out laughing. I'm like, what's funny? Because this my number 1 best friend, this my 2nd best friend. I put them all in order. I ranked all of them from 1 to 1,000. And she just started laughing. She said, baby. She said, you ain't even gonna see it. You ain't even gonna talk to these friends after graduation. As much as I hate to admit, she's right. Because, baby, it didn't even take after graduation. After 8th grade, after the last day of school, after we had to sit there and clap and be like, oh my gosh, it's the last day of school. Baby, I never spoke to them again. I knew they wasn't my friends, but, you know, my mama can't tell me nothing. So that's why I had to let her know. That moment will forever be a core memory because I chewed it and my mom ate me up and spit me out. And she was like, baby, them is not your friends. She right, like, okay, we know, moving on. I didn't go to the high school that I was supposed to go to. Like, the kids that I went to middle school with, they all went to a certain high school and I ended up going to a different high school. So, you know, I already feel out of place in general, and now I'm feeling even more out of place because I didn't even go to the high school with all the kids that I went to school with. So I really didn't have no problem because, you know, I still made friends and I was still talking to them folks. And, you know, me and all the 10 black people in the school, we was cool. So everything was mutual. It's just that one day I woke up and I just decided I didn't want to talk to nobody. Like, I had my headphones in and I literally never took them out. They never came out of my ear. I don't know what happened to me. I don't know what I was feeling when I woke up. But that day on, I was like, nah, I'm cool. Like, I'm straight on all of y'all. I don't want to talk to none of y'all. And it just, I don't know what happened. Like, and the music was hitting back. I was in there, what? My little headphones, I don't know what headphones I have. I was jamming. I was like, I really got in tune with the music that I was listening to. I was listening to West Coast, baby. I was listening to all types of stuff. I had a playlist for every emotion I was feeling. Like, it was at the point where everybody's like, oh, what's in your playlist? Like, you have your headphones in 24/7, show your playlist. No. I'm stingy with my playlist because every artist that I discover, every song that I discover, every underrated artist, every underground song that I ever came across, I found it on SoundCloud when I decided to, you know, keep to myself and put my headphones in. That's where I found all my artists from. At this point, I started calling myself a music producer because I was finding all the good songs. That's why I said I'm not sharing nothing. Like, I used to post myself with the songs that I found and stuff, and everybody used to slide up and be like, oh, who is this? What song is this? Like, no, I'm not telling you. And yes, I was that girl because if I had to walk a mile in these Louboutins to find this artist, you got to do it too. Because I didn't do all that hard work just to tell you who I'm listening to and how I found it. Like, no, I'm not going to do all that. So I knew that I did not belong in the city that I was in, but you know, I'm just here. Like, I'm just here. So it really hit me 11th and 12th grade. I knew deep down in my soul, baby, it was time to go. But it's like I can't leave because I'm still in high school and I haven't graduated yet. So that would be so, like, that would be the wrong move to get up and leave. And I'm still in school. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to just take care of my business, and after that, it's up. Like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. And that's literally what happened. But I'm going to rewind. Okay, so I had a couple friends by my side. You know, they was my little clique, and we was doing our little thing. And, you know, I thought, let me put the word thought. I thought we was all on the same page, but maybe we was on the same page, but you know, okay, so we had this whole plan that we were gonna leave. Me and my friends, we was gonna leave, and we was gonna, you know, work on ourselves. We gonna post up on these and everything. So I'm thinking, okay, so I got two friends by my side, and we thinking the same way, like we finna really make this happen. So when I woke up that day, just that one random day in 9th grade, and I thought, okay, basically I cut everybody off. Let me just stop sugarcoating. Basically I cut everybody off, and they didn't even know. I cut them off by putting my headphones in. And you know, it got worse as I got older. Like 10th grade hit, 11th grade hit, 12th grade hit, and baby, I was like, can't tell me nothing. I want to say 11th grade I did get a little friendly. Like I did take those headphones out, and I was trying to, you know, reunite. It wasn't like a friendly thing, but it was just like, okay, I went to school with you, I went to elementary with you, so you know you cool. We can have a mutual conversation, and it won't hurt me, it won't kill me. I was mature enough to have a conversation with you. That's how it was. Me and my friends, we were really low-key. Like, we was really low-key. We would have one hangout spot, and that was it. We never really went outside until 11th grade. I feel like everything changed when we started going outside, and that's what kills me, because I be trying to tell my friends, like, I feel like we all changed when we started going outside and hanging with these folks, and we knew that we didn't like these folks. We knew we couldn't compare to these folks, and we still went outside, and we still was chilling with them. And I just can't. That's why I can't be mad at my friends, because just like, okay, I'm mature enough to look back at the situation and know that that's where we messed up. I'm actually getting emotional this time, not for fake, for real, because it just makes me sad. Like, we had this whole plan, and then in the end result, we found out we all gotta go our separate ways. So it's just like, my heart broken. Like, y'all be over there crying about your man because y'all broke up and y'all heartbroken, but them friendship breakups, that's what got me in a chokehold. It don't have me eating, I don't be sleeping, I don't be doing nothing. I just be heartbroken, because I just feel like friendships last longer than relationships. Like, friendship is just this, and relationship, you know, they come and go. Like, you could talk to somebody today and be done with them by tomorrow. And you know, it can happen with friends too, but you know, like friends, it's a longer commitment. You can meet a friend and they be fake by tomorrow and you cut them out tomorrow, but I just can't explain it. Me and my friends, we started working at this call center, and you know, this is a small town now. Like, we in our small town, and we working at a call center. So of course our whole class of 2021 is working in that call center, plus the other classes above us and under us. So literally the whole peer group, literally the whole 9th grade through 12th grade working at that call center. So it's just like everybody there, and you know me, I'm just shaking, I'm sweating. I'm like, oh my god, the whole class up in here, and we just all finna be up in here, and it's finna be all type of drama. And that's what it was, all types of drama. I'm talking about, it was 9th grade drama, 10th grade drama, 11th grade drama, 12th grade drama. And you know, we just sat up here and we inserted our stuff in the mix. Ooh, if I could go back and redo something, I would have never worked at that call center. It was drama upon drama and upon drama upon drama. I'm talking about, I knew everybody's drama from 9th grade to 12th grade. And you know me, of course I'm gonna go associate with my mutuals that I know from elementary, but you know, these other people, your mutuals got mutuals, and the mutuals got mutuals. So basically I'm just meeting everybody mutuals. I'm like, oh, okay. It was me and my friend, we started working there because my other friend didn't want to work there. So it's just me and my friend, we just sitting there, and we just I'm about to summarize it because I don't want to tell the whole high school experience. It's a whole different video, but some of it, parts of it needs to be said so I can get to this video. I'm telling my friend, I'm like, oh girl, I don't even want to work here. Like, look what she just told me. And then every time, like, okay, some of the mutuals will come up to me and tell me a story, and sometimes they'll go tell her story. So you know, we'll come together, we'll collect. Guess what she just sat up here and told me? And we would just be laughing. My two friends, they did want to hang out, and I'm not gonna lie too, I did want to hang out and, you know, just to be in different environments and do different things. But you know, after I go outside and I be around these people for like 5 minutes, I be getting tired. I be like, no, I'm ready to go home. Like, I can't do it no more. I have a bubbly personality, so I guess it comes out off as I'm friendly and I want to have so many friends, but deep down I don't want to be around y'all. Like, that's how it is. Well, okay, I will say that about 11th grade I was going through a lot emotionally. Like, I had all type of emotions going through my head. Like, I had a lot going on at home, on top of me just going outside, being with these folks, and me trying to come up with the biggest, greatest plan to escape and to boss up. So I had all this going on, and the stress level was at 1,000. It wasn't even at 100, it was at 1,000. So basically everything just went through my mind at one time. By the end of the 11th grade, that outside session that I had, it came to end quick because I was bored. They used to be like, ugh, girl, like, why you acting like that? But this is how I was feeling. Like, I didn't want to be outside no more. Reality was hitting me. Like, I know I don't want to be around these people, so why am I faking trying to be around these people? Why am I even getting up to go be in your presence and y'all draining me? After I was drained out from having my outside session, at that point, you know, my friends, they still wanted to go outside and they still wanted to talk to the mutuals and stuff. So at that point, I'm like, okay, if y'all want to do it, then I'll just come with y'all. I'm ready to come up with a big plan and make this happen. I don't know what y'all doing, but you know, we was on different timing. At this point in time, the last story time that I was talking about, I was working a serving job 11th and 12th grade. That's where this part comes in at. So we are resuming that part of the story. That's when I started working this serving job. And I'm not gonna lie to you, my cousin put me on because I remember she sent me a Snapchat and she showed me her tips and she was like, yeah, girl making bang. My friends, they all had jobs before me. Like, I was working jobs, but you know, they got that financial security before me. So she was sending me tips and she was like, let me put you on, like serving this and serving that. And I was like, okay. So, you know, I come to her restaurant and I apply. As soon as I got in there, I let her know, like, I had an interview and stuff like that, and the lady told me 5 minutes later, oh, I don't think you're the right fit. So you know what I did? I went home and I got in my feelings. Like, I was sad. I was like, dang, this girl didn't even give me a chance. Like, she just looked at me and she was like, no, I don't think you're a good fit. So I was like, oh. So I went to go tell my cousin and she just like, I don't know what happened, I was in my feelings and you know, I was still looking for that financial security. I was working call centers and stuff, but don't nobody want to do that, honey. I'm like, dang, I want to make tip money too. Like, I see my cousin, she didn't influence me and I want to see what this is all about. So I want to say about 4 months later, this was like, it was coming towards the end of the year. I want to say it was like November, or it was like October, November, December. So it's like towards the end of the year, and then the next year come. And this is like, we still in school, right? And we had to do school on the computers. I looked on Indeed again, and this time I was looking for certain jobs. But then I was like, wait a minute, let me look up certain jobs one more time. Because I know the lady did not just look at me for 5 minutes and just tell me I was a fit. So I had worked at this place called Qdoba Eats, and it's basically like Chipotle and all that. Like, you have to go in and you have to tell them what you want on your bowl or your nachos or whatever. And I believe it's only in the Midwest, because when I went to Miami, I was looking for Qdoba Eats, and they told me, what is that? I was like, oh, that must be a Midwestern thing. Okay, before I decided to look up serving jobs again on Indeed, I was searching up jobs that I was familiar with, and I seen another restaurant. It was like a poke bowl. Basically, it's the same thing. You gotta tell them what you want. But I don't know if the restaurant was Asian or Korean, but I'm gonna just say Asian. So it was Asian inspired. So I applied there because I was like, oh, okay, like I know what to do. This basically like Qdoba Eats, except it's the Asian inspired food. So when I went in to go to the poke bowl, I was like, yes, I've done Qdoba Eats before, So after I left that interview, that's when I got a call from the serving restaurant. They was like, come in. So when I was confident for the poke bowl interview, but when I came to the serving, you know, the lady had just told me, oh, I don't think you're a good fit. So, you know, I'm already going in off the bat trying to play myself. So as soon as I go in, you know, I introduce myself, and I'm just off the bat. I don't know how to serve, but I'm willing to learn and stuff like that. And he's like, calm down. He's like, calm down, we can train you. He asked me like, what other jobs were I applying for? So I told him that I just left the poke bowl literally the day before, and he was like, oh, that's my restaurant too. And I was like, really? Basically, he gave me a choice. He was like, the poke bowl need more help than the restaurant do. So I was like, oh, okay. But you know, he done boosted my head about being a server. Like, he was like, we'll train you, like, calm down. He's like, it's okay, like, stop acting like that. He was telling me, no, I want you to stay in this restaurant. I want to train you to be a server, because I could just look in your eyes and tell that you wanted to be a server, but you just went and tried to settle for less at the poke bowl. Finally, somebody seen what I'm talking about, and you know, it just felt good to be seen and heard. Okay, so I came home and I told my cousins, and I was like, oh my gosh, y'all, like, I got a serving position. And they was like, okay, you make it bang. And then he was like, okay, so how much you make? And I was like, $3 an hour. And I remember my cousin had his friend over, and they just busted out laughing. They was like, $3 an hour? And I was like, yes. My family members, they were like, you making $3 an hour? And I was like, plus tips. Plus tips. Like, y'all keep forgetting that part. Plus tips. My cousins and his friend, I guess they was working somewhere else. I think it was a warehouse, I don't remember, but it was like, oh, we finna make this and this amount of money. This real bank right here. I want to say I started working like towards the end of the week. I think it was Thursday. The owner put me on the schedule for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. He wanted me to train Thursday, Friday, and Saturdays. I was like, what? Like, he just scheduled me for 3 days and I want more days. I did not know that Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, those are the busiest days, and these are the first 3 days that I'm working at this restaurant. I didn't know that. I did not know what I was walking into. So when I get there, it's busy. So I'm like, he wants me to train and all this. Like, I don't who you think I am? So I'm just looking and I just start panicking and stuff. He was like, it's busy, huh? And I was like, yeah. And he had the other servers training me, and I basically caught on. They're not gonna admit that, but I caught on by day 2. I was like, okay, this is what I gotta do. By the end of that 3-day segment, I made about $300 in tips, literally from my training. Luckily, I made it in the pay period week, so I went home. I was like, look at my first check. And I went to go show my cousin. It was like $300, and they was like, how did you make $300 and you only make $3 an hour? And once again, I was like, plus tips. And I was just so proud. I was like, yeah. I was like, that's how I knew I was ready for the serving industry. I said, I knew we went together like this. I don't remember if my cousin was still working at the other restaurant, but that restaurant that she was working at, it was popular. Like, if you ever want to go eat Chinese food, that's the one you go to. The restaurant I was working at, it was a hidden gem because I didn't even know where it was. I had to look it up. I remember I was asking my grandma for help. I was like, Grandma, I don't know where this is. Like, where is it? And we was literally searching for this restaurant. Like, it's hidden. It was a real hidden gem. And I just feel like that was the greatest thing that could ever happen to me. One of the greatest things that could ever happen to me. And just like I mentioned in the last story time, that's why I stacked my money up. And I also mentioned that I was falling off with my friends about that job. It was really hitting me like, okay, you're in the 12th grade now. Like, it's finna happen. You're gonna graduate. What are you gonna do now? Like, what's the next move? And I'm just working and I'm panicking. And you know, I had a lot going on. And I would try to be at work 7 days out the week. Okay, I started working 3 days, then 4 days, then 5 days, then 6 days, and 7 days. I'm putting work before everything. Like, you couldn't tell me nothing. My friends would call me, oh, you wanna go do this? You wanna hang out with that? And I'd be like, you know, at first I would hang out with them, but then eventually I was like, no, like, I'm trying to get straight to work. Like, I was making good tip money, and I was like, this is good for me. When I got this job, I got a taste of the financial security, but it's just like, I guess my friends didn't understand because, you know, they're used to having money and stuff. Like, they can go ask their parents, oh, let me get $20 and stuff like that, and their parents will give it to them. But my mama, we wasn't getting along at the time, so just like sometimes we wasn't even speaking. I had to fend for myself. And I been left her house. Like, I been left her house, and I end up staying with my grandmother. At that point, it's just like, you on your own, baby. Like, you gotta do what you gotta do. Like, I felt like they didn't understand what they did. Because, you know, I would vent to them and tell them, oh, this is how I feel. But I know at the end of the day, they probably thought, no, she just hard-headed as hell, and she never listened to her mama. I know that that's what they were thinking at the end of the day. The reality still hitting me. Like, it's hitting me every time I go and clock into work. Like, at this point, I didn't even want to go to my graduation. I didn't want to do anything. And, you know, I didn't think it was a problem because at that time, I believe we all 3 of us were working jobs. Like, this was the first time all 3 of us were working at the same time. Usually it'll be them 2 working and not me, or usually it'd be me and my friend working and not the other friend, but this was the first time all 3 of us was working. So I didn't think it was a problem. Like, I didn't think they were going to feel some type of way that I can't come and hang out with you because I'm thinking you had work. But I was putting in the most hours of work, and, you know, they were just putting in part-time. But me, I was going ham. Like, after that man told me, oh, calm down, we're going to train you as a server, he boosted my head for life. So usually when I'm on cloud 9, you know, I be feeling good. I don't be feeling no type of way. But, you know, as I'm getting this job, I started thinking different. Like, I remember I spoke up to some people about it, and I talked to some people about it, and they told me I had paranormal schizophrenia or whatever it's called. But it's just like, I never had these type of feelings before. Like, usually when I'm on cloud 9 with my friends, I don't be feeling like that. How do I want to explain this? Okay, when I'm just regular, like I'm just my regular self, I felt like I was stuck. Like, I wanted to know something, but I didn't know what I should do. Like, I was trying to see how I wanted to take action on something that I wanted, but I was stuck. So it's just like when I go and hit that and get on cloud 9, then it's like I got the answer to what I need. But was it really the answer that I needed, or was I actually paranoid? I don't know. So, you know, I'm on cloud 9, right? And I started seeing things different. So I'm just, you know, random moments in time was coming into my head. Like, I'm thinking about, oh, all the times people did me wrong and stuff. So I'm like, why am I thinking about this? Remember, this happened and this happened. You didn't see it like that then, but I'm now showing you how it was and how it really was. So I'm like, my mind was telling me, like, she's weird. Like, no, you need to get away from her. You need to cut her off. You need to separate yourself from her. So I'm like, why do I need to separate myself from her? She's my friend. Like, we've been dogs for the longest. Like, what do I need to separate myself for? Like, I'm literally in my mind. Like, I'm fighting with my mind at this point. So I'm like, okay. Literally with both of my friends. Like, both of my friends, I'm just thinking, she did you like this and this and that. Like, no. I was like, no. It can't be like this. I said, maybe I just need to put down the stuff, because clearly it got me thinking weird. I was like, no, like, this is when we all died down from like going outside and stuff, and you know, we was all working at the same time. Now I'm thinking we all on the same page, and it's just like after graduation, baby, we hitting the dash, we gone. Like, I thought it was established, and it was, I believe it was, but I just feel like other things came up, and you know, some of them wasn't ready to go. But me, I was real. I really was on 10. I was really on 10, and I was at work every day because I was like, I don't know what's finna happen, but all I know is I'm finna have some money in my pockets and we finna make it happen. I remember one time my friend asked me to hang out, and I was putting in 6 days out the week. So I'm just like, nah, girl, like, I can't hang. Like, I didn't sold my soul to the job. Like, I'm trying to get this money for real. I don't want to say she was butthurt, but she got in her feelings a little bit, and we did end up arguing. So I was like, you know what? That was just the icing on the cake, baby, because I'm just finna just let you go. I'm finna let you do your own thing, and I'm just finna fall back from you. That's how I was. So I end up falling back from them, and you know, at this time, me and my other friend, we was kind of falling off too, but I just didn't want to let her go yet, because you know, this was my cousin. So it's just like, dang, like, I gotta cut my cousin off too. Like, I gotta fall back from her too. And my mom was like, fall back from these, I don't want to call them that because that's not what they are, but my mind was telling me, fall back. Was it intuition? Was it like, what was it? Like, why was my mind telling me to fall back from them? But I listened because I had to fall back from them. And then, okay, so me and the other friend fell off or whatever. We didn't fall off, but you know, I just fell back from her. I don't want to say falling off because that's too negative, and I still love them and I still care for them, but I don't want to use negative connotation. So then, you know, me and my cousin, we still there, but I'm still low-key ready to I'm still low-key ready to fall back from her too, but I just trying to hold on to her a little bit longer. My friend, I don't think she was ready to leave. Like, I think she started changing her mind, because I would tell her, like, we can make this happen for real. Like, at that point, I was looking up houses. I was like, baby, I didn't already taste the landlord. I didn't already talk to the landlord. I told her we're just 3 young girls trying to make it happen, and we just need somewhere to stay. And you know, the landlord, she was intrigued. She was like, oh, I support y'all. She sent me a video tour of the house, and she was like, this and that. She was like, you will have to go, and she was telling us that y'all would have to buy a washer and dryer because it's a washer and dryer hookup, and she was telling us that you would have to go and put your own refrigerator in. And I'm like, okay, I'm taking notes. I'm like, okay, I don't know nothing about nothing. The landlord, she was asking me about my credit score and my rental history. I was like, look, baby, I'm just 18. Or I forgot how old I was, but I'm just a young girl, and we just trying to make it happen. And, you know, she was like, okay, I can work with that. She was like, basically, she had faith in us. So I'm over here telling my friends, I'm like, tell me why I just texted this landlord. She telling us we can get this house and stuff like this. And I want to say the house was about $1,500. I want to say it was $1,500, and I was telling them, like, we could divide it by 3, we could do this, we could do that, and we could live together and all of this. Like, this was me. Like, I'm really on that. I was not working 6 days out the week for nothing. I was really trying to make it happen. And you know, my cousin, she out the back, oh, we don't have no rental history, like, how we gonna rent something? I'm telling her, girl, you're not listening to me. Like, this lady said she wants to work with us, and she had faith in us and stuff like that, and she just didn't believe me. And my friend was like, no, I don't really have money, I'm not ready to move and stuff like that. And I'm telling her, it doesn't matter, as long as we have us 3, we can can make it happen. And you know, it could be quicker because it's 3 versus 1, right? So I'm like, oh my gosh, like I'm getting frustrated, and it's just like, it's coming. Like at this point, we got 3 more months of school left, and y'all acting like y'all finna back down, and I'm just panicking and stuff. So I'm like, wow, my mind telling me to separate myself from them, and I'm already have mixed feelings about y'all. Like it's like I started to see their true colors right then and there. I'm literally texting them all of this, and they just would not. They just didn't care. Like it seemed like they didn't care. Maybe they just didn't have faith, or maybe things changed. I don't know what happened, but I'm still standing on it. Just like I said in the last video, I've been saying I want to start a YouTube and all of that stuff since 9th grade. I wasn't playing. Like I'm dead serious. Like I was standing on business. After I fell back from her, that's when I came up with a plan with my cousin. I'm like, okay, so we got 1 more month of school left and stuff like that. And you know, she was kind of stressing too, because she didn't know if she was gonna get to graduation. So it's just like, you know, I was kind of stressed with school, but I wasn't thinking about none of that. Baby, I was putting my 6 days out the week. I was putting that work in. I was clocked in. I was clocked out 40 hours a week. Let's go. I don't know why she lied to me, but she lied to me. And she was telling me that she was working 6 days out the week like I was. Okay, so my cousin and her older sister, they worked the same job. So, you know, the sister was the manager. So one day I did go hang out with my cousins or whatever. And I just happened to look at my older cousin's clipboard, and I seen that my cousin was going to work like 2 and 3 days out the week. So I'm just like, why would you lie? Like, what you lie for? You didn't have to lie and say that you actually putting that work in, and you wasn't. I mean, you probably was putting the work in, but you was telling me that you was at work 24/7 all day long. I'm talking about every day. But I'm looking at your sister clipboard, and you only been going to work 2 days out the week. So I'm just like, okay. And I didn't really press the issue, but I said something about it, and you know, she got defensive about it, so I just left it alone. I was like, okay, you know, maybe we're just 2 different people. I'm just in my feelings, because it's like, okay, now I'm starting to see what my mind was talking about when it was telling me that I need to fall back. I think at this point we didn't already graduated or something like that, so it's just like, okay, we graduated, now what we finna do? How I'm feeling like I'm in a movie. Like if it ain't about to happen right now, when is it gonna happen? Like we did not graduate yet, but at this point it was 3 weeks before graduation. That's what it was. And I'm telling my cousin, I'm like, girl, like we don't have no car or nothing. My cousin parents, she got her 2-parent household, so you know she quicker to get a car than me, because I was living in a single family home, and at that time I was not talking to my father. So just like, you're quicker to get the car than me. I didn't feel back from her a little bit. Like I wasn't texting her as usual. Like the communication was dying down. She had texted me. She was like, oh, I'm about to get a car and this and that. I was like, okay, so you finna get the car. We can put all our clothes in the trunk, and we can just head out, and we can just stay in the car, and we can, you know, we can go work and do what we gotta do. We can go talk to this landlord and see what she wants us to do, because you know she on our side. She's rooting for us, because she letting 3 little babies rent out a 3-bedroom house. I think it was 4 bedrooms. I don't remember, but it was in Dallas, Texas, and it was about $1,400, and it was so decent, it was so nice. I was like, that's when Dallas wanted to be cheap. But you know, now they stuff about $3,000 now. When I was in high school, that stuff was about $800, $1,200. But now, when I graduated high school, they want to raise the rent to $4,200, $3,700. My cousin, she was telling me, oh no, my dad doesn't want me to leave, and I guess she had to pay her car notes on her car, and she was like, I can't go anywhere because I have to pay car notes. Okay. My mind telling me that I need to fall back from you, but now I see that I really have to fall back from you, because we didn't talk this whole shit plan about doing this and doing that, and y'all backing down at the very last moment. That's what killed me. I came to my grandmother about it. She's like, why you yelling? Like, why you hollering? Maybe that girl not ready to go. And you know, I was ready to go ham at her too. I was like, no, we been talked about this. I was like, there's no way they about to turn back right now. Like, you're literally about to turn the moment that we finna make it happen. And I was just sad, and I was emotional. I was everything. Everything was going through my mind at that time. And at the end of the day, it was now or never. And I was like, okay, you know what? Fine. I was telling her, like, girl, you could still pay your car notes. You just gotta send it to your dad or something, because we finna be in a different state. I thought she was on board, but now that I look back, I feel like she was just telling me what I wanted to hear so I could be quiet and stop stressing her out. I didn't realize that I was stressing her out, but now that I look back, I was like, maybe I should just chill a little bit. Wait a minute, because now I got the timeline mixed up. It was after graduation we made this plan, because that's why I was so I was like, oh my god, it's now or never. Like, we gotta literally make this happen. It's 1 month after graduation and I'm just stressing out, and I'm like, oh my god, nobody has a car. I was like, this girl has a whole car and she ain't even trying to get up and move. She's trying to go around, stroll around the city and do all this, and we could have been in Dallas, Texas doing this and that. I'm like, nah, baby, if I had that car, I would have been gone. I'm figuring out how can I get a car, because you know she got the car and she still ain't trying to shake nothing. So I was like, nah, I gotta get my own car if we're gonna make this happen. You know, I'm still having her in my best interest. I'm like, okay, I'll get the car and you can still come with me. You can still put your stuff in the trunk and we could trail each other. My mom was being very petty. Like, I wasn't in her house and she was telling me, I gotta take care of my children in the house. I can't be worried about you like that. Like, she was so petty. Like, I just wanted, ooh. It's always a moment where you want to throw hands with your mama, and this was the time. I was like, girl, I know you did all that in our childhood and stuff like that, but this is the time where I need you, and I need you to stop acting like that, and I need you to just stop it and just be on my side for once. I would call her and I'd be like, oh, can you take me to drive and stuff like that, and she would take me driving once after month. So I'm just frustrated. I'm like, this girl just playing like something funny. Like, I'm literally trying to make it happen and you trying to be petty, talking about, oh, she gotta fit me in her schedule and she can only take me driving 1 day after month. So I go to her mama, which is my grandma, and I'm telling her like, your daughter doing this and that. And my grandma, she just shaking her head. She don't know what to do. I used to tell my grandma all the time, baby, one day you gonna wake up and I ain't even gonna be here. Like, I'm letting her know I'm gonna go. Like, I'm not playing with y'all. And she just looking like, you say that every day and you still ain't got up and did nothing. I learned how to drive when I bought the cash car. Like I mentioned in the last story time, I bought the cash car. And that's when I learned how to drive. And you know, my grandmother, she was in the car with me and she was teaching me how to drive. She wanted me to go check on my car, and while I was driving at Jiffy Lube, that's when I was learning how to drive. I literally picked it up in about 2 weeks, and I just swear I was the pro driver. My grandma, I remember one time I was in the car and I had leant back and I was just strolling, like, you know how dudes be driving in the car. I had my shoulder right there and I'm just doing this, and I started driving one hand. She said, oh, you must think you a pro driver now. I think I'm telling the story out of order. Okay, so whatever. So sometime in between that time where I was eventually about to fall back from my cousin, and right before I bought the cash car, I seen my dad. And how I seen him, I kind of felt bad that I was being mean to my cousin. So I told her that I would come work in her job, you know, just to spend time with her as a second job with her and her older sister. I ended up going in there and I seen my dad. And I didn't even see him. My cousin seen him. And she gonna come and tell me, ain't this your daddy? Because, you know, I guess we look alike. And I just go look and I'm like, oh, Lord, this is my daddy. I looked at him, I'm just like this, like, really? Really? At this point, I'm furious. He just, oh, here go my number, call me. Okay. I go home and I tell my grandma, guess who I just seen today? And she tell me, oh, your daddy. And she just off the bat, oh, go talk to your daddy. You know, at first she wasn't really with it. She was like, oh, your daddy ain't did this, he ain't never. See, I don't want to get into the business like that, but she basically, at the end of the day, she told me that I need to go see my daddy and he need to go look at my car. And this was after I bought the car. No, I seen him before I bought the car, and then I didn't call him right away. He told me to call him, I didn't. After that, it was like some weeks passed and I bought the car, and she was telling me, oh, go see your daddy, go let him check the car out. And I'm telling her like, nah, grandma, like, I ain't finna do all that. I'm finna go. I'm not trying to reminisce on no past. I'm not trying to sit up here and do nothing. Like, I'm finna go. I said, if I'm finna go to his house, I'm finna tell him that I'm finna go, because I'm not finna stay here. Like, you waited too long, sweetheart. So my grandma was like, just go talk to your daddy, man. Like, just come on. So I was like, you know what, I'm gonna do it for you, grandma. So I went over there and I would go over there a few times and he would check on my car and stuff. And he's talking about some, oh, you need this and this and this piece. And I tell him, I'm like, nah, my grandma, we already did that, baby. We already drove to Jiffy Lube. That's another thing. They was, my family members trying to tell me what was wrong with the car. Like, my dad, he was trying to tell me, and I just didn't care. Like, I felt like he was trying to tell me something, anything, so that I wouldn't be able to get up and go. And he told me, what you leaving for? And I'm like, I'm ready to go. Like, what? Like, I'm out the door. I'm doing the dash. I'm out of here. Yeah. Oh, you got a plan? Like, what you finna do with this? Don't worry about it. Let's stay my business. Like, just know I'm finna get up and I'm finna go. After you finish looking at my car, I'm finna go.